Amy Schumer just announced her divorce from husband Chris Fisher after 7 years of marriage. But here's the thing. She didn't just share the news. She also had to immediately clarify what the divorce wasn't about. Specifically, she had to tell people it wasn't because she lost weight. And the fact that she felt she needed to say that at all, that reveals something deeply troubling about how we treat women in our culture. On Instagram, Schumer shared a photo of herself and Fisher riding the New York City subway together, accompanied by a candid message about their split. She wrote that they had made the difficult decision to end our marriage, but emphasized that they love each other very much and will continue to focus on raising their son together. It was a mature, straightforward announcement about a personal decision between two adults. But then came the part that shouldn't have been necessary. Schumer shut down the speculation before it could even start. The split, she clarified, wasn't because she dropped some lbs. And it also wasn't because Fisher, whom she described as a hot James Beard award-winning chef, could still pull some hot tail. On the surface, it sounds like classic Amy Schumer humor. But look closer and you'll see something else entirely. It's a preemptive defense. It's a woman anticipating exactly how the public would interpret her divorce and getting ahead of a narrative she knew was coming. To understand why Schumer felt compelled to address this, you need to know about her recent health journey. Earlier this year, the comedian revealed she had lost approximately 50 pounds. But this wasn't a weight loss transformation story in the traditional sense. Schumer has been transparent about the fact that her weight loss was medical, not cosmetic. She explained that it wasn't about looking hot or fitting into smaller clothes. It was about surviving serious health issues and being able to live without chronic pain. It was about functionality, not vanity. Yet, even after providing that explanation, Schumer knew exactly how people would connect the dots when her divorce was announced. She understood that in our culture, when a woman loses weight and then gets divorced, those two facts are automatically linked into a very specific narrative. The story practically writes itself. Woman loses weight, gains confidence, realizes she deserves better, leaves her marriage. It's a tale we've seen repeated countless times in tabloid coverage, social media commentary, and even in how we talk about people in our own lives. But what if that's not the story at all? What if two things can happen in someone's life without one causing the other? This isn't really about Amy Schumer's divorce. It's about how we treat women's bodies as the explanation for everything that happens in their lives. When a woman's appearance changes, especially through weight loss, everything else suddenly gets filtered through that lens. Her health, her happiness, her relationships, even her sense of morality all become tied to the size of her body. A divorce becomes framed as a weight-related glow-up. Independence gets recast as vanity. Career success becomes about how she looks now, rather than what she's accomplished. Any personal shift must somehow be rooted in thinness. It's exhausting and it's reductive. We act as if weight loss is this master key that unlocks every other decision a woman makes, when in reality, it's rarely the most important part of the story. People are complex, relationships are complicated, life doesn't revolve around before and after photos. The fact that Schumer knew she had to address this before anyone even asked speaks volumes about how deeply ingrained this obsession is. She's been in the public eye long enough to know exactly how these narratives play out. She's seen it happen to other women. She knew it would happen to her. And here's the most frustrating part. Even after she explicitly said the divorce wasn't about weight loss, plenty of people probably still won't believe her, because we've been conditioned to see women's bodies as public property, open to constant speculation and judgment. This cultural fixation has real consequences. It reduces women to their physical appearance. It suggests that the most important thing about a woman is what she weighs and how she looks. It implies that every major life decision must somehow connect back to her body. When we constantly frame women's choices through the lens of weight and appearance, we erase their agency. We deny them the right to be complex human beings making decisions for complex reasons that have nothing to do with how they look in a mirror. Amy Schumer is a successful comedian, actress, writer, and producer. She's a mother. She's a person navigating a difficult personal transition. But none of that matters if we're only interested in her dress size. The truth is that marriages end for countless reasons. Sometimes people grow apart. Sometimes priorities shift. Sometimes love isn't enough. Sometimes two people who care about each other realize they're better off as co-parents than as spouses. None of that requires a weight loss explanation. So here's the real question. Why do we keep treating the size of a woman's body as the explanation for everything good or bad that happens in her life? Amy Schumer shouldn't have had to clarify that her divorce wasn't about weight loss. The fact that she felt she needed to reveals how far we still have to go in recognizing that women are complete human beings whose lives aren't defined by their physical appearance. Real people aren't the sum of their before and after photos. They're not stories about transformations and glow-ups. They're individuals making complicated decisions for reasons that belong to them alone. Maybe it's time we start treating them that way. What do you think about the constant focus on women's bodies in media coverage? Share your perspective in the comments below.